The Boy Who Refused to Stay Small. The Extraordinary Life of Cristiano Ronaldo. Nobody in the quiet Atlantic island streets of Funchal believed that the skinny boy sprinting barefoot behind a battered soccer ball would someday become one of the most recognized athletes on earth. In fact, many believed the opposite. They thought he was too emotional, too obsessed, too stubborn, too poor. But history has a strange habit of proving people wrong. On February 5, 1985, in a modest home on the Portuguese island of Madeira, a baby boy entered the world. His name was Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro. His mother, Maria Dolores dos Santos Aveiro, worked long hours cooking and cleaning in other people's homes. His father, José Diniz Aveiro, worked as a gardener for the city and also helped as a kit man at a small football club. Money was scarce, the house was small, and the future looked uncertain. Cristiano grew up sharing a cramped room with his siblings. Sometimes the refrigerator held little more than bread and soup. Yet, despite the hardship, there was always something alive in Cristiano's eyes: energy, restlessness, a constant need to move, and above all, football. If there was a ball nearby, Cristiano would find it. If there wasn't one, he would create one. Old socks tied together, plastic bottles, anything round enough to kick. For Cristiano, the world itself became a football field. The narrow streets of Funchal were his training ground. The concrete walls were his teammates. The neighborhood kids were his rivals. While other children eventually went home for dinner, Cristiano stayed outside practicing, hour after hour. Kick, run, shoot, repeat. Neighbors often watched him and laughed. "Go home, Ronaldo," they shouted. But the boy never stopped. Even as a child, he seemed to be chasing something invisible. At age 8, Cristiano joined a small local team called Andorinha, where his father worked. He quickly became known for one thing: intensity. While other kids treated practice like a game, Cristiano treated it like a mission. If he lost a match, he cried. If he missed a shot, he practiced until it went in, again and again and again. Soon, his ability caught the attention of a larger club on the island, CD Nacional. Joining Nacional meant facing stronger competition, but Cristiano thrived on competition. He began running faster, jumping higher, training longer than everyone else, and his dreams slowly began to grow larger than the island itself. By the age of 12, scouts from mainland Portugal noticed something special about the boy from Madeira. They invited him to join the youth academy of Sporting CP in Lisbon.
For many kids, this would be a moment of pure excitement. For Cristiano, it was also heartbreak. Because leaving for Lisbon meant leaving his family, leaving his mother, leaving the only home he had ever known. He was just 12 years old. The day he boarded the plane to Lisbon, he carried very little with him: a small bag, a few clothes, and a dream far bigger than the island he was leaving behind. The academy at Sporting was intense. Hundreds of young players trained there, all of them dreaming of becoming professionals, and many of them were stronger, taller, and more experienced than Cristiano. At first, life in Lisbon was incredibly difficult. Other boys mocked his Madeiran accent. They laughed at his emotional personality. Sometimes he cried at night, missing his family. But quitting was never an option. Cristiano turned loneliness into motivation. Every insult became fuel. Every doubt became energy. He trained harder than anyone. When practice ended, he stayed, running sprints, practicing dribbles, shooting at goal long after the sun disappeared. Coaches began whispering about him. There was something unusual about this boy. Not just skill, not just speed, but an almost frightening level of determination.
Yet just when everything seemed to be moving forward, something terrifying happened. At age 15, doctors discovered Cristiano had a serious heart condition. His heart was beating dangerously fast. If untreated, it could have ended his football career forever. For a teenager whose entire identity revolved around football, the news was devastating. But Cristiano refused to panic. Doctors performed surgery to fix the problem. The recovery was supposed to take months. Cristiano returned to training within weeks. Even the medical staff were shocked by his determination. It was as if the setback only made him stronger. By 2002, Cristiano Ronaldo was no longer just another academy player. He was rising rapidly through the ranks at Sporting, stronger, faster, more confident. Then one evening, at just 17 years old, Cristiano stepped onto the field for his professional debut with Sporting CP. The skinny boy from Madeira had officially become a professional footballer. But what happened next would shock the entire football world. Because during one preseason match, Sporting faced one of the biggest clubs in England, Manchester United. And on that night, Cristiano Ronaldo delivered a performance so dazzling that the opposing players themselves begged their coach to sign him. That coach was the legendary Sir Alex Ferguson. By the end of that night, Ferguson had already made a decision. The boy from Madeira was about to leave Portugal and begin a journey that would transform him into one of the greatest athletes in the history of sports. But Cristiano Ronaldo's rise was only beginning, because the road ahead would include fame, pressure, rivalry, heartbreak, world records, and moments so extraordinary that millions of people across the planet would watch in disbelief. And somewhere deep inside, the boy who once kicked a taped-up ball in the streets of Madeira was still running, still dreaming, still refusing to stay small.
But Ronaldo had heard doubts his entire life. He responded the only way he knew how: work, more work, then even more work. After training ended, Ronaldo stayed on the field practicing free kicks. He ran extra sprints. He lifted weights late into the evening. He studied his own mistakes relentlessly. Teammates noticed something unusual. Even among professional athletes, Ronaldo's dedication seemed extreme. One Manchester United player once said that Ronaldo trained as if someone was constantly chasing him. And in a way, they were. Every defender in England wanted to stop him. Every critic wanted him to fail. But slowly, something incredible began happening. The skinny winger from Madeira started transforming into a complete football machine. He became stronger, faster, more efficient, more deadly in front of goal. By 2007, Cristiano Ronaldo was no longer just a promising young player. He was becoming a global superstar. During the 2007-2008 season, Ronaldo delivered one of the greatest performances in Premier League history. He scored 42 goals in all competitions. Wingers weren't supposed to score like that, but Ronaldo wasn't playing by traditional rules. Manchester United stormed through the season, winning the league title and reaching the final of Europe's biggest competition, the UEFA Champions League. The final took place in Moscow. The opponent was the powerful English club Chelsea FC. Millions of fans across the world were watching. The match was tense. Every pass mattered. Every mistake could decide the trophy. Then, in the first half, Ronaldo rose into the air for a header. For a moment, it looked like he was floating. He smashed the ball into the net. Goal! Manchester United fans exploded with joy. But the match would become a dramatic battle. Chelsea equalized. The game went to penalties. Ronaldo stepped up for his shot, and he missed. For a second, the entire world seemed to freeze. Had Ronaldo just cost his team the championship? But fate had another twist waiting. Chelsea's captain missed a crucial penalty. Then Manchester United scored the winner. The stadium erupted. Manchester United were champions of Europe.
Cristiano Ronaldo fell to his knees in tears. Just 5 years earlier, he had been a nervous teenager leaving Madeira. Now he was the best player on the biggest stage in club football. Soon after, he won the highest individual honor in the sport, the Ballon d'Or. Cristiano Ronaldo had officially become the best footballer in the world. But strangely enough, even that wasn't enough for him, because somewhere in Spain, a giant club was preparing to make a historic move, a transfer so massive it would shock the sports world, and it would take Cristiano Ronaldo to an entirely new level of global fame. The club was Real Madrid, and the record-breaking offer they were about to make would change football forever.